Good afternoon. Ah, damn, the damn thing's gone again. Sorry, I'll just get back to it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. I have just finished playing my first Silver League ladder game. It hasn't actually shown up here. Oh no, it actually did. Or did it? I'm not sure. I've got a whole bunch of custom games, but there we go. The experience thing has gone away. But I did very well. I actually got to level 20 Protoss off this game, so I've got my funky new pylon skin. So that was very, very good, and we are going to go ahead and we are going to watch this game and tell me I saved it. Unsaved, here we go. So there we go. It was against a very nice young fellow called Calgasis, and I probably should save this game since I am casting it, so just in case I need to go back to it later on. And there we go, second silver. So let's watch this game without any further ado. Now this was a lot like the previous game, a lot of just pure attack, pure ground forces with the zealots and stalkers. However, it was against a Silver League player. It was against a Terran player. It was also in Silver League. And I did actually do it a bit differently. I didn't go for a 4-gate straight off. Instead, I went for the Masters level technique that I've seen in a lot of games, which is going for a fast Nexus off a Forge, Forge expand to Nexus, which I think is it's a pretty good build. Now, he didn't actually try and scout me in this game, so the fast cannon didn't really help me that much. It did help me a little bit when he attacked, and you'll see that, but basically here we go, building the first pylon up there. Now I know, first of all, that I haven't got the music going, so we'll get the music going. But yeah, I forgot what I knew actually. The interesting thing about this is you've got to get the distances right. Your idea is to have a one wide gap for your forces to go in and out and block off the rest. So I've got this there, I've spaced it out so I can have the forge in here pretty well. I'm going to get all of this stuff fairly early on. I very much like to get the cannon in place before the SCV comes and scouts it. But yeah, it doesn't really matter though, because the SCV comes up here, he sees the cannon taking you out there, and that's all he needs to know about your build so far. I mean, maybe at like the 8-9 minute mark, he really needs to get in there. He really needs to see, alright, is there a Dark Shrine, is there a Stargate, blah blah blah. And if he can't get past this, then yeah, he's in trouble. Now I've seen a fair amount of people doing this build. They put down the cannon before the gateway. I like to get my gateway tech up as fast as humanly possible, because one cannon will not ward off 4 or 5 marines if they come in really, really fast and do some really, really fast harass. Now he hasn't got too much yet, he's just going for a fairly standard route, but as you will see in this game, he does go for a bit of a Bronze League sort of action, bit of Bronze League sort of tactic, even though he is technically in Silver League. So you guys will see that though when it comes up. So here comes the cannon, the gateway. As soon as the gateway comes up, I'm going to build a cyber core down here to fill up this gap. I'm building the pylon first. This pylon will not power the cyber core down here, so I need another pylon, but it's always good to get another pylon regardless, because if they take out this pylon, then this cannon goes unpowered, which is bad. So another pylon, always a good investment. But here we go. First off though, I'm going to get the Nexus as fast as I can. Now this is something that I was forgetting quite a lot in the Fast Forge expand build, and that is to expand. I mean, you can get up, you can build the Fast Forge, you can get your gateway down, your cannon down, and then you just start building buildings as normal. You should not forget ever to build the Nexus, and you want to build the Nexus as soon as possible. Now, I've seen some people, they build it before they even get the gateway. That makes me feel a little bit more vulnerable than I would otherwise like, so I usually get it after the gateway. I've actually, half the time I get it after the cyber core, and that is bad. That is not what I should be doing. I should definitely get it before the cyber core, because you really need to get it out as fast as possible. The strength of this build is having 2 Nexi and being able to chrono boost out 2 probes at a time, and it is such a strong build. Once you get the Nexus up, economy goes through the roof. You can build so much, and really after that the key is to get as many gateways as you can and just start building constantly off them. You will not run out of minerals. You can run out of gas if you don't have the gas running correctly, and I did run out of gas, but I got a crap ton of zealots, and yeah, it just works. And we can see here, he's going down a reactor on his barracks. So this is what I was talking when I said he was going for a Bronze League sort of tactic. He is going for mass Marines. Marines, and only Marines. Now I think this one will probably be for a tech lab, just because Marines need upgrades, and yeah, we go, there's a tech lab. So Marines, I mean, you get the shields on them, they're way too much better. And of course, I know that he has the shields, because I did fight him like 10 minutes ago and I saw the shields on his Marines, but there we go. And here we go, building 2 probes. I try and keep the chrono on both Nexi at the same time. That's another good thing about having 2 Nexi, is that, yeah, you've got 2 chronos. So it's really, really great. We've got the warp halfway done. We've got 1 gateway. This is the scary part of the build though, because these 2 gateways, after I put down that nexus, second nexus, it takes a stupidly long amount of time to get these guys down. It just feels so slow. Your minerals are just barely crawling along. You just sunk 400 into the nexus, and it really, really feels like you're just slowing behind. But about now, once you start to get these workers pumping out 2 at a time, it really starts to pick up. I've got the 2 gateways down, constantly building units. This guy's sending out some units to try and scout me. Now, luckily for me, I've got the probe out, so I see this from the Xhairymuppetx watchtower. I see the Marine coming up. Run the probe away. Actually, no, I remember I didn't run the probe away. I just left him there, and the Marine just completely ignored it. So he's obviously not attack moving, he's just moving. Now here, I think I deserve some credit for this move. I send out 2 Stalkers and a Zealot, and they keep moving. You can see actually what the units are doing for a couple of seconds after you die. So I keep them moving forward, and I'm hoping that scared him. If that was maybe most of his force, that he was getting a bit scared. Of course, he's not getting scared because he's got Marines coming at his ass. So, but the main thing there was to try and fool him into thinking that I only had 3 units when in fact I've got about 6. However, since he does have about 20 of the bloody Marines at the moment, he's going for 1 weapons, he's already got shield, he's not really worried. Now, this is a surprise that I find out about in a minute or 2, and this is, yes, this is very scary for me. Luckily for me, I'm not faffing around. Previous games, I faff around quite a lot at this point. I get a lot of tech options going down. I try and go straight for Colossus and stuff like that. I'm not doing that anymore. It's too scary, it's too unreliable, and you absolutely get owned if the opponent does this. And in bronze level play and silver level play, you do see quite a bit of this, quite a bit of people just getting the low level units, a ton of them. You see, he's being a bit smart here as well. He's sending out 3 Marines. So I send out 3 Stalkers, 2 Zealots, trying to fake him in, take the Xhairymuppetx watchtower back with that. And he's got to be thinking, alright, in the past 2 minutes he's just got 1 more Stalker and 1 more Zealot, so he should be easy enough to take out. I do in fact have a bit more units at the back, but really, I'm in a lot of trouble. As soon as I see these guys coming, I'm like, oh shit, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. And I do manage to save these Stalkers, but I know right now I am in a lot of trouble. And the problem with here is, see, we got the 2 cannons coming down, but the problem is the Stalkers behind the gate, they're going to be too far away to hit the Marines. And in front of the gate, they're going to be trapped. See, this is the problem with the small gate, so I decided to put the Zealots in front of the gap, the Stalkers right behind it, and see how that goes. Now, unfortunately, the Marines don't run up the ramp. I expect if the Zealots are right up the top, they have to run up the ramp to see them. Not quite. The Zealots come in, they all start getting wiped out. I try and move my Stalkers out, then decide to run them back in. So this is going very badly for me so far. I got the Stalkers coming in. They're hitting a lot of my Stalkers with these Marines. I've got this cannon helping me out. And I think the cannon does a lot of work. Warping in the Zealots. I am extremely lucky he hasn't taken this pylon out yet, because that pylon is allowing me to warp in the Zealots, and without those Zealots I would just be completely creamed at the moment. He's still better than me, but I can do a final warp in, and really this pylon is just saving my life at the moment. Here comes the Zealots. They're going to wipe out most of the rest of these Marines, I think, and you can see his constant stream of Marines. Now this is when he starts making a mistake. He moves these guys out of the way, which is a good option, but the rest of these guys, they just come in bit by bit by bit. Maybe he's hoping this guy will do damage now my zealots are out of the way, but I warp in some stalkers, and they're just going to pick off these guys bit by bit by bit as they come in. So there we go. I've managed to barely survive that massive offensive. He's expanded off that, but of course I expanded a long time ago. If you have a look at the income, oh man, I am 45 to 22. Somehow I am still creating probes, and I am just doing an absolute baller job. So right now, it is basically a case of, if I don't do anything completely stupid, I have won this game, because I have got so much income, it's not even funny. And I can just afford to out-macro him. You can see, I really just completely explode my buildings at this point. I was like, alright, I've got 1,000 minerals, I need to do something about this. So 3 more gateways come down. I've already got a robo, I've already got this Twilight Council down. Researching legs. Legs extremely important upgrade. If you're going for this early Stalker Zealot sort of play. You saw this in the last game when I got into Silver League, how I used that. And yeah, I'm just going to keep doing that. Get a couple more pylons, really blow the army out of proportion, and really just get a massive amount of units and go in there. And of course, working on the upgrades. I've got the armor going, but I haven't got the weapons going, because of course this pylon got taken out, so this forge was completely useless. But we're getting it back in now, and we're going to go in and we're going to do some good work once we just get tons and tons and tons of units going. And there we go, look at that. Production queue with about 7 things in it. That is what you want to see. Definitely is what you want to see. I know I'm talking myself up a little bit at the moment, but you know what? I'm very happy with this game. I'm very happy because usually, Forge Fast Expand, I'm not really that comfortable with that build at the moment. I'm still working out little tweaks like Gateway before Nexus, Cybercore before Nexus, trying to get a trade-off between getting the Nexus as fast as possible and still not getting wiped out by very early pressure. So I'm very happy with how it happened this game. Of course, he didn't give me any early pressure, but yeah, I'm very happy this game that I got these 2nd and 3rd gateways up and managed to get some forces. Now we're just walking up with these units. I'm 30 supply ahead. It's 14 army, and look at this, 19 harvesters still, man. I'm still producing harvesters. I'm not producing them constantly, but I'm still producing them bit by bit. He's got a siege tank now, but he's still concentrating on his marines. He's got 1-1. I, however, have 1-0, but the armor is just about to come up. It's actually going to come up just in time for this attack. This was not part of my plan. It's just a one of those good things that just happened. He's actually taking into Thors. And if I didn't already know he was a silver player, teching into Thors would definitely tell me that he is a silver player, because right now you spend so much resources, first of all getting the tech for the Thors, and then just getting the Thors, and that is not going to help him against a massive ground army with tier 1 units. And my cough is still going like nuts. What he really needs to do is get crap tons of marauders and some medevacs right now. He needs to go for triple M. And yeah, siege tanks are good. Thors not so good. Thors are definitely not a good option at this point. But 2 more tanks coupled with triple M would be awesome at fending this off. But unfortunately he didn't do it. Snipe that tank with the Stalkers. I'm going to snipe the Thor as well with the Stalkers. Stalkers, of course, do bonus damage to armored, so they're really, really good at taking out tanks and Thors. And there we go, going in there. And this is pretty much the end of the game. He's got a lot of production down here, but he just not have enough. Unfortunately, Stalkers, not that good at wiping out the SCVs. They're going to get away. But I'm going to warp in some more Zealots. And the Zealots are going to run in and reinforce. And I think the Zealots actually catch the SCVs on the way there. So that is good for me. Just go wipe out a ton of them. I actually somehow selected my probe there as well. I'm not sure why I selected the probe. But these running across the map as well. And he's going to go in. He's actually, what is this? Oh, this is vehicle armor. I thought that was building armor for a second. But there we go, vehicle armor. So there we go. This is another 1v1 silver game, which I actually won. Which makes it a very rare occasion indeed. But there we go. Beautiful game, I thought. And yeah, I'm really, really starting to like this pressure play with just tier 1 units, because I mean really Protoss tier 1 units they're just so good. The Stalkers are so good, and the Zealots, I am really, really getting some newfound respect for the Zealots. They were clunky and slow before, and then by the time you got speed, they were just basically fodder to throw at the Colossus or to throw at the Hydras or whatever else you were facing. But mid-game, early mid-game, I am really, really liking them. You get speed fairly quickly, and you just build a crap ton of them, and they do so well. They just do absolutely so well, and I mean, it's very hard to deal with them because they've actually got quite a bit of health, and yeah, I'm just loving these guys so much. But there we go, great game, and yeah, I'm really, really liking this this Masters level play here that I've seen a lot of Masters levels players do, which is fast expanding off a Forge. I'm not 100% sure about using the Forge, to tell you the truth. Fast expanding off gateways. I mean, if I replace this Forge with a gate, build another gate and a cyber core here, you can sort of wall this off, maybe get a Zealot. I haven't tried it versus Zerg. Well, I maybe have tried it against Zerg, but I think the Zerg player sent a... They're basically... in one game he sent a crap load of lings, and I didn't have enough to deal with it. And the next game he sent a crap load of like about 10 lings and 3 roaches, and I was in a bit of better position that time, but still I was basically had a bunch of Zealots, and I was prepared for the lings, but I was not prepared for the roaches, so that went badly for me as well. So it's very, very hard to deal with this, but we saw in this game that, yeah, I did definitely a good job of pushing off those forces. If he had Marauders, it might have been a bit harder, but if he had Marauders, he wouldn't have had nearly enough Marines. So really, I like this play. I like this gate sort of thing. And I mean, oh man, just especially versus Protoss and Terran, it is an absolute monster of a build, because you're producing 2 probes, they're producing 1 SCV or 1 probe at a time. And you saw, I mean, he was like 25 and I was 45 or something like that workers, man. Just because I kept building and building and building off this fast expansion. And it was absolutely obscene the amount of units I was able to get out. 8 gateways, just boom, boom, boom. And look at my resources at the end of the game. I haven't even moved on to the 3rd base yet. I got the 3rd base up, but I haven't moved there. And look at the resources here, man. Just from so fast expanding is just absolutely obscene the amount of resources you get. The only danger is in the first 5 to 10 minutes. There's a timing push about this 6 or 7 minute mark when you've probably got about 3 or 4 units out, when you're just getting your 2nd and 3rd gateways up, and they can have a fair few more units if they've gone for like a 4 gate or something like this guy did. He did it a bit later than the 6 or 7 minute mark. But if he had just got 10 Marines and gone in about the 7, 8 minute mark, I might have been in a lot of trouble. I really might have. I don't think I would have had the forces to deal with it then. But there we go. Good job to me. And yes, thank you very much for watching this game. And I will catch you guys later. We'll see what happens with some more ladder games. I'd really like to, yeah, do some more ladder games and cast them if they're this good. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Hairy Muppet.